Hello, and welcome to Zoom Media. I'm Rose Hoos. Today I'm joined by Rosie Gary, a recent alumni of the Future Now Media Conference, who just recently graduated in the class of 2020 from Asbury University with a bachelor's in media communication with an emphasis in multimedia. Hello, Rosie.
Hey, how are you?
Doing well so far. So my first question is, what has graduation and job, well, let's focus on graduation first. What has graduation been like for you during the COVID-19?
Well, as you know, most universities all over the nation haven't been able to conduct an actual commencement ceremony because of the whole, world pandemic and possibly, getting everyone sick. So in order to prevent that, but also to still, congratulate all the grads at Asbury University, we are still having a commencement ceremony in October. But it was really hard not being able to finish out my spring semester, especially it being, of course, like my last half. I had a lot of plans to just, say goodbye to people that I really loved, but I'm just so thankful that I'm able to go back.
So how has the pandemic affected your multimedia classes? Have they been cut short? Was there any additional things? Did some things go online? How did that work out for you?
All of my classes went online, as I believe everyone else's did, but that was really difficult because I was taking like a studio class where I was doing multi-camera production, and so we had to end up canceling our really big sporting event that we were supposed to do live on campus on a Saturday, and then we had to not really cancel, figure out another way to do Project 3, which is doing a live TV production in our homes. So that was really difficult, but the other classes, it wasn't that bad because we just used Zoom and did lectures and took notes and then had normal class time, I guess. We met every day, just like we would in real life, but obviously it was virtually. Something that was really interesting was our school has a hybrid film festival, so a huge film festival that our school puts on every single year. And I was a part of the production crew. I was one of the producers for the actual festival itself, so I got to remotely do that. So that was really difficult, but it was really fun. There's actually a class that I was involved in called Special Events, and that's the class that produces the whole fun film festival. So that was really interesting. We had only a month really to get it together online, and we reached thousands of viewers. So it was pretty cool. The biggest film festival we've had yet.
That's amazing. Okay, so how have you been able to take these skills that you learned in college and market them to companies despite the fact that there's a global pandemic going on, because you have these transferable skills of being able to work online during the pandemic, and because you're in an online platform, has it been easier for you to find jobs than maybe some of your friends have? And what has that job hunting experience looked like for you?
Well, as one of my mentors and professors, Sarah Hogenkamp, would say, as she was explaining to the class about our final project, because it was a group project and it was a lot of work, and we had to record an album and do a lot of stuff. She was like, what you do now during quarantine and during the class times that you're not on campus is going to be the most important, especially when marketing yourself to the world and into the media and entertainment industry, because that is something that you can take and show like, hey, I created this, I did this, I produced this, I directed this, and show that you were not stopped by a pandemic, despite the fact a lot of people have given up, a lot of people in other industries, not necessarily media and entertainment, because I know when we were given a task, we were driven to do it. And that's something that I'm very proud of with being a media communication major at my school. So with looking into jobs, I've honestly just taken the advice from the Future Now Media Conference, and I've connected with tons of attendees and connected with a bunch of professionals in the industry, specifically industry of TV production and design work, and photography, just kind of asking their advice about what they would do in my situation and how they have taken this pandemic and used it for a positive thing so they can impact the world in another way. And I think honestly, the pandemic is bringing, even though it's taking away supposedly jobs, I think it's going to boost the job market later on, because everyone's like, oh my gosh, so not only can I be part of this industry or do this one thing in person in an office or traveling, but you can also do it at home. So it'll bring more opportunity for people to succeed. So I'm hoping to actually be able to do that, whether it be working remotely or in an office or with people. So I think there's a lot of positive come out from it. And I've just been applying all the stuff that I've learned from the conference and just calling people, emailing people, networking with people, just trying to figure out like what is my niche in this whole pandemic and what I can do to hone in my skills.
Excellent. What are some examples of some of the work that you've picked up as a result of the advice that you got from the media conference to market yourself better?
So I actually have spoken with, as I said, like several professionals from the conference, and one of them is actually an alumni from Asbury. He is an amazing human being who's very talented. His name is D.T. Sloffman. He is a 6-time Emmy Award winner, and he has so many other global and world recognitions. Like, it's insane that he would reach back out to me. I'm actually currently creating a logo for him and his new podcast series that's coming up. So he's really teaching me, mentoring me on how to not only freelance properly, but also how to like hone in my skills of design and creativity. But I'm also working on creating an app for Future now with Peggy Kim herself. We're kind of just throwing ideas back and forth. I'm trying to get a prototype and design it up for her. And then I'm making my own app and prototyping that just to kind of help with the community of colleges all over the world just come together and be able to connect better. And then I'm also doing some other freelance design work with just like people that are my friends on Instagram, and I've been selling clothes. I've just been kind of busy trying to make my own tasks, trying to boost my portfolio and resume, you know?
So since you have all of these different marketable skills, what would be your ideal job going forward? What are you looking for in your future? And what stepping stones are you looking for right now to try and reach that goal?
Okay, so honestly, I would have to say I would be okay with a design production kind of job, or I'd love to work in sports broadcasting, so in the TV industry. I would love to do anything to deal with swimming or any sports in general with Team USA. I'm really passionate about swimming just because that's been my background for the past 14 years of my life. I would love to coach maybe, or even go back and be a teacher or a professor in higher ed and teach graphic design or photography. Like, honestly, there's so many things that I love to do, and I love working with people. So whatever can bring me close to people and whatever platform the Lord can use me, that would be ideal, honestly.
Rosie Gary, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.